maybe there's no money for transport to take the learners to school, and some parents were not that involved in their children's education. So trying to talk to the educators as to what is it that can be done in order to assist them, because our aim was to assist them in class. Unfortunately, the issues in class are taking us outside the classroom. They're involving parents, they're involving adults that we can call the blessers, who will be waiting at the gate to collect the young girls and give them whatever they'll want, because at home there's poverty. So we tried to move our focus to collaborate with other departments in our university. Unfortunately, this is still something that is going on. We have not finalized our collaborations as to what is it that we can help each other with. But looking at the issues of the social issues, for example, issues of poverty at home, issues of teenage pregnancies, we felt that we can involve the social workers, the psychologists, as well as other departments that are focused on the teaching subjects, because they are not only failing the African languages, they are also failing other subjects. And most of the reasons why they are failing, for example, African languages, is because any person who can speak the language can be pulled in to become a teacher of that language. Even if they don't have the methodology, they don't have enough background to become teachers in those classes. So you'll find that just a person will just prepare anything, or even not prepare, just to be there in class and keep the learners busy with anything. For example, we noticed that some teachers, because they feel there's nothing they can do, they'll just take the study guides and give them to the learners without them being involved. You give the study guide to the learner, and the learner doesn't know what to do with the study guide, and there's no intervention of any kind from the teacher. Then the results will drop. What happened, let me say what we found out in Nqutu, where we went as a team, we discovered that the school itself has two languages, isiZulu and Sesotho. But then the Sesotho that is taught there is the standardized one. The teachers themselves in that area, they speak isiXhosa, and the learners speak isiXhosa with some kind of isiZulu in it. So it's not isiXhosa per se, it's not isiZulu, it's some kind of a language that they learn from home, and it's brought to school. Now they have to face the standardized Sesotho. Trying to find out what is it that we can do to assist, because if they don't speak Sesotho that is supposed to be learned in class or be spoken from home, it means there's a confusion, some kind of a fanagalo of a language, and now they are failing. The teachers themselves, because they are almost from the same area, they don't know the standardized one. They speak the isiXhosa that is mixed up with isiZulu in it. And on trying to check whether there are any subject advisors or language practitioners from the Sesotho section, we found that the only one that is coming to assist is for isiZulu, and she hands out whatever material that is there in isiZulu. So the teachers have to read something from isiZulu and translate to Sesotho, and in that Sesotho, there's this mixture of isiZulu and Sesotho. So there's that kind of a confusion, something that it's not easy to deal with as people who are just coming for community engagement. So we felt we needed to talk to the subject advisor, the isiZulu one, so that maybe from her offices, she can get something for isiSotho and try to assist the Sesotho teachers. She was reluctant to get involved because now we're trying to check what happened actually for them to only provide the isiZulu subject advice and nothing for Sesotho. And we found that historical issues were part of this. They told us that it's something that happened from a long time ago, the issues of Difekane, the war, and there was that kind of hatred, so they are not accommodated in anything, the Sesotho group. In checking on the issues of the background, the learners, where they are coming from, most of the families are child-led. There's no one to provide, hence the blessers are taking advantage of the girls and teenage pregnancies resulting, and the learners are dropping out of school. And we felt that because that also does not fall on us, we could involve other colleagues from the university so that whenever we visit those areas, we can try to do something to cover most of the areas that are in need of help. The schools, the infrastructure itself was also a problem. And on trying to check what is it that can be done, maybe by the school principal and the SGB to assist in this whole thing, we found that the principal and the SGB people don't know much about the school improvement plans. When they're supposed to go for training, the principal either doesn't have a car and nobody comes to the area to train them on how to do things beforehand, like planning, applying for funds. They will always get funds late, and now the problems have escalated. On issues of the girls in the school, we discovered that most of them don't even have sanitary towels. So during that period, they are not coming to school. There are incidences of those that it happened in class, and they will be laughed at, and the next thing, whenever it starts, they're not coming to school. So they're missing out on on lessons at school. So as a group, we decided that because it's far, Nqutu is very far, we cannot be there every now and then. We decided that we are going to contribute as a department, get them sanitary towels whenever we visit, or those that are staying in those areas from our staff can take something to the school. Issues of trust are contributing, where you cannot just send money and say, teacher so-and-so, be responsible for buying the sanitary towels, because now if ever something happens like not buying the sanitary towels, who are you going to blame? It's not part of our project. It's something that we felt we can do for the school. And because of issues of not being able to write anything, the learners themselves are a bit far behind their levels of education. We felt that we could try to design some, what do they call them, glossaries, where we'll send them to the schools so that they can print, even if there are issues on the printing machine. Either the teacher has to provide money to buy paper, or the learners have to bring paper to school so that they can receive the material. So it was just a movement from what we planned before and to come to a point where we want to involve everyone. There must be a collaboration from our departments as a university. Let me just leave it at that. I understand my time is up, kind of. Thank you.
Sure, we do have a bit more time. So
You showed me 5 minutes.
So I think let's open up for questions so that Cordelia has a chance to share the full spectrum of what people want to know about this project. Are there any questions for Cordelia? We have a hand there from Nikki and then from Angela.
Thank you so much. It sounds like a very overwhelming problem or project that you've taken on there, and it's amazing the contribution that you are making. I'm wondering, because we found in the Eastern Cape as well, I don't know if it's to the same level, but challenges with the standardised form of the language and the language that is spoken. And as an African languages department, do you have any suggestions? Like, is there something that the Department of Education could do, or is this an insoluble problem that our children are facing? Thank you.
Thank you for that. You know, the story that you're telling us is a story throughout South Africa. So I would just like to hear from everybody present. What are they doing when they hear about these particular scenarios happening in so many of our schools? And if you think about it, we all at HEIs, we're working with students. In what ways are we engaging our students in these community on-the-ground issues? I mean, sanitary pads. We have one of our students who's running a program and obviously getting the sanitary pads and taking it to school. But there must be another way. So there is a sorry, it just came to my head. So there is a community person, his name is July. And no, that's his surname, but I call him July anyway. And he said, you know, when we work with communities, so we're going to buy these sanitary pads and we're going to go and give them to the children. And then what? How are we now looking at the community engaged in an entrepreneurial type of activity? You use that money to purchase, and yes, a lot of people are looking at gardening, etc., but I think we've got to look beyond the gardening because it takes a while for things to grow. People don't like to buy from somebody's back garden. They rather go buy and pick and pay your checkers. And we've got to change that whole mindset of how we actually operate. Maybe operate's a bad word, but how we live. So, yeah, that's all I want to say.
So maybe if you can answer the question there, and then if there's time, we'll move on to other questions.
The problem we are faced with, for example, we tried to talk to the manager, our CE manager, about it, and she said to us, our deliverables do not include some of the things that we are mentioning that we would love to assist with. So that means whatever it is that we want to do as an extra, we will just have to find ways of getting grants and the like. And applying for a grant takes long. Hence, we decided that we can contribute as a department. And we tried the route of an income where the whole university would know that we are running this project and we need assistance. Regarding the teaching part, which was our main focus when we started, we felt we can work as a department and then try to get into our college, because we have our department, then the school, then the college. Try to get to the college itself and ask them to spread the news in the different departments, that those that can assist us, we can collaborate and go together when we have to visit the schools, because sometimes you find that we are going to the same province and we are going to different places, we are going to do different things, instead of us working together in those provinces and then we come to another province and serve them. Issues of an outreach sometimes are not viable. For example, when she says we need to teach them how to do things on their own instead of telling ourselves that we are going to deliver this and that to the community. It is not easy for now because we chose an area that is a bit far from us, Pretoria and Nqutu. It's a bit far, but there are other places which we are trying to service around Gauteng, for example, and areas like Mpumalanga, which are not very far from the university, where we can try to monitor whatever it is that is happening. Indeed, the problems are almost the same. Issues of classrooms, overcrowding in classes is a common issue. And when I remember writing a paper, and I was part of the translations, and after submitting to the Department of Higher Education, I was removed from all the the publishing houses where I used to be part of them because of what I've said. What I'm trying to say is sometimes you want to assist through your outputs to make an awareness to the government itself that this is what is happening in your schools or in the areas where you are supposed to be servicing the people. And then because you have exposed some of the things that they don't want to be exposed, you get cut off. So I didn't mind about that because whatever I've said was true. I had a proof that this is what is happening. So it's not easy with the government itself to hook them in or to rope them in whenever there are issues. They'll want a way of running away from whatever it is that we are trying to expose.